Hey, this is Mad Movie Mark of the Mad Movie Mark Movie Review. Thank you for joining me as I review the 1936 romantic drama Dodsworth.
What are you doing, trying to torture me?
Hey, I promise that's not what I'm trying to do at all. My goal is to watch the greatest films ever made and then do my best at reviewing them. If this is your first time joining me, I'm reviewing every movie in this book, the 1001 movies you must see before you die. Now, Dodsworth was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor for lead Walter Huston, Best Supporting Actress for Maria Openskaya. She did a great job in this film, but I'm really not sure why she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress when you have Ruth Chatterton and Mary Astor, who definitely performed circles around her. I wish that they would have been nominated instead. You have Best Director William Wyler, Best Writing Screenplay, Best Art Direction, and Best Sound Recording. Now, one of the main focuses of this film is the mature treatment of marriage and aging. Unlike most 1930 films, Dodsworth focuses on the middle-aged marriage falling apart rather than young love and young romance. It is an honest portrayal of infidelity, insecurity, aging, and emotional independence. I can definitely relate to the aging part. I think we all can. I feel it every day, that's for sure. It helped establish William Wyler's reputation for psychological realism and had strong performances. Now, I will say that Walter Huston as Sam Dodsworth, he did an incredible job. Definitely deserved his best lead actor award. But I also thought that Ruth Chatterton, who played Fran, should have been nominated for best lead actress, and she also did an incredible job playing his wife. She has such fantastic emotional range in this movie. She definitely has a great arc, and I think that she just does a really good job at playing off of Walter Huston, playing off his character. You really believe that they are at first this loving couple, but then a very troubled couple later on. And I just thought that she did a very good job with what she was given. Also, Mary Astor, I thought should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She will be Sam Dodsworth's love interest later in the movie, and I thought she did an incredible job as well. It's one of the most sophisticated films of the 1930s. Critics and historians often highlight Dodsworth as one of the most emotionally mature Hollywood films of the decade. And I would say that I agree with that. Now, when this movie opens up, we are introduced to Sam Dodsworth, who is a self-made millionaire. He owns his own automobile company, and he is basically reluctantly retiring. He loves his job. He loves to throw himself into his job. He loves all the work that he does. But his wife is unhappy with their social life, and she wants to go on this big, elaborate trip through Europe in order to reinvigorate their social life and reinvigorate their love life. So he decides that he's going to do this. They go on this trip. He is a very touristy person. He loves to see all the sights. He is like amazed and aghast at all the wonderful views and everything he gets to see while he's on this vacation. But she is someone who likes to rub elbows with rich people. She wants to have these flings with people she thinks are going to be important and rich. And she does date a few people while she's out. She has some, I would not say they're really affairs, but she does kind of have a wandering eye for men as she's going through Europe. Now, her husband has no reason to know this, I guess, or he's kind of blinded by wanting to look at all these sites, and he doesn't really pay that much attention to what she's doing, and he doesn't really care that she's going out on her own, and they're not really seeing that much of each other, and they're just kind of doing their own thing, and he doesn't have any idea really that she's going on dates with other men and playing the field, essentially. Now, eventually she will meet a man who she decides that she wants to marry. She's unhappy in her marriage. She's unhappy with the fact that her husband just wants to do touristy things, and she kind of starts seeing him as a lower member of society since she's hanging out with all these higher members of society, and she decides that she wants a divorce. Now, for Sam, while he's doing his travels, he runs into a woman named Edith, who is a divorcee. She's a very down-to-earth woman. She kind of sees what's going on with his wife. She is able to see that she is playing the field and she's cheating on him, essentially. And she actually tells Fran to stop, to not do this, to not cheat on him. But Fran just does it anyway. Edith seems like a really good person. She seems like she's not into material things, really. She just seems like a really nice, honest, good person. They run into each other and they have a really good chat, and that's all that becomes of that for now. So Fran decides that she wants a divorce because she's going to marry this guy. It is reluctantly given to her by Sam. He agrees to do the divorce. At one point, she decides that before she asks for the divorce, they were supposed to go back from Europe to their house, and she asks if she can stay an extra month on her own just to kind of socialite it up. And Sam agrees, and when he gets home, he realizes that he doesn't know how to do anything. Like, Fran was the one who laid out all his stuff for him, laid out all his clothes, was the one who basically got his day together for him, and he's completely lost when he's home, like absolutely 100% lost. And you can see this sadness that's brewing up inside of him because he loves his wife, and he wants to be with his wife. And I almost felt like he didn't really understand why she wanted to be gone by herself, and it was very heartbreaking to me watching his character slowly realize what's going on. And he does eventually realize that she is two-timing him and that she wants this divorce. And like I said, he grants it. Now, the man that Fran decides that she's going to marry is rich, and he's much younger. And it's also important to say that Fran is much younger than Sam also, and she feels Sam kind of comes to this determination that he's losing his wife because she's younger and she wants to do all this fun stuff and she wants to go out and live her life, and he's at the point where he's retiring and he's already lived his life. And they also recently have had a grandchild together, so I mean, Fran is also struggling with this idea that she's going to be a grandmother and that she doesn't want to grow old, and she's struggling with no longer having her youth. So now she's in kind of the tables are turned where Fran is the older woman and she's dating this younger man. She meets the younger man's mother, and the mother is just totally against this marriage because their religion does not allow divorce, and she says that Fran is too old to provide her son with children, and they needed children to continue the family line. So she is against the marriage, which means that this marriage cannot happen because this new gentleman that Fran has met will not get married without his mother's permission. So Fran's in a bit of an awkward position now where she has asked for a divorce and now she has nowhere to go to. So she telegrams Sam, who is now basically living with Edith. They find each other again. They decide to live together. They fall in love with each other. And she says she wants him back. Sam reluctantly says he has to go back to Fran because that's his wife. They've been together for 20 years. It's all he's known. It's where his comfort is, basically. And he feels like he is compelled to go back to her and to leave Edith. So he goes back to her, and when he gets back to her, he realizes that this is not the woman that he wants to continue being with. That even though that they were together for 20 years, they have grown apart. They are two different people, and that Edith is a much better match for him than Fran is. So he ends up leaving Fran on his own accord, and he goes back to Edith, and I absolutely love that ending. I was a little worried that he was going to stick with Fran, though it is very sad because you still feel like Fran does love Sam, I think. She just got a bit ahead of herself when it came to wanting to be young, wanting to go out there and be with men who make her feel young, and she was a bit over her head, I think, in some of these situations. And at the end, she realized that she was in a very safe and very great relationship, a very loving relationship, and she ended up screwing it up, essentially. And at the end, when Sam leaves her, she says, well, what's going to become of me? Like, what's going to happen to me? Because she doesn't have any job, she doesn't have a profession. She'll probably end up getting half of what Sam has, but she's like, well, and he's like, well, that doesn't really concern me anymore. And he walks out on her, and he goes, and you'll have to essentially believe he lives a very happy life with Edith, although the 20-year marriage that he had is pretty much in ruin. It was a very sad and emotional movie. movie for me. I think a lot of it is because of the story, because of the fantastic acting and writing in this movie. The writing is just amazing. It really is an emotionally impactful movie, something that you don't get from a lot of movies from the 1930s. Also, it doesn't have a lot to do with the Great Depression, which I was also excited about because a lot of these movies have to do with the Great Depression, and I don't think this really mentioned it. But I thought this was a very emotional movie, very well acted, very well directed. It definitely deserved all the Oscars that it was nominated for. Probably it deserves some rearranging of Best Supporting Actress. I thought Walter Huston should have won, though I say that, and I don't know who else was nominated for Best Actor at this time, so maybe there was a better performance. I need to go back and check it, but he definitely gave a performance that was worthy of winning, and I thought Ruth Chatterton did as well. At the end of the day, I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. I hope you join me next time when I review a movie called La Grande Illusion. Thank you. Have a great day.